What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tiger Tran coming at you with a new game that just came out. Well, at least into early access for Steam. It's called They Are Billions, and I'm super excited for this game. I actually saw it probably about a year ago, and I love it because it's a survival-esque game where you build bases, zombie hordes are coming at you, and it's really challenging. And those are the kind of games I like. So with that, we are kicking it off with the first video. So basically what I did for this was I scouted out the first area because they say if you have too many openings in your base, you kind of become fodder for the zombies, and that's kind of what happened to me. I've only played 2 maps, and the first map I must have had 8 openings, and they start you off with I think 5 guys, and it was impossible just to defend all the different entry points. Plus I was a giant noob, so that did not help either. So you can kind of see what I did was just look at the periphery here. This base is probably insanely amazing because there's only, well, 4 entry points here. They're pretty wide, which is maybe a little bit dangerous. I don't know about that, but the vast majority of it is blocked off here. The first time I played this, actually, I had super low access to wood, and that's such a crazy necessary resource in the early game, and I was pretty lumber starved, which really hurt. I had a lot of access to stone, but there's a tech building pretty early on that you need to get that costs wood, and I just did not know that. But I'm excited to go on this round to try to kick some butt. So with that, let's go. So the first thing you gotta always do is get a bunch of tents. This provides you with population, and the population allows you basically to do everything else. I don't know if you can only be building 4 structures at a time. I don't know if that's a legitimate game mechanic. It seems like it is. But you can see we crashed into our first horde of zombies. What's really cool is they have these little resource piles near your base, which you actually need early on. If you can see over here, the primary resources is gold, lumber, stone, iron, and oil, which I have not even been able to use yet. So with that, we've got the tents up. These guys are doing work over here. Let's make sure they don't get pwned. Doing a kitey action here, StarCraft style. We're actually going to pause. So I am relatively new to this game. I do know food is very important. You got to throw these bad boys over here by the water. Checking resources here because this fisherman's cottage only takes gold and energy. We've got 25 energy down there. It's the little lightning bolt. So we're going to try to get as much food production here as possible. It looks like if you see here, there's a certain level of power that you have access to, so you can't build outside of this ring. And you got to build these little pylons. They're like Tesla towers. And what you do is you build these on the periphery, and it expands your area in which you can build. They just cost wood. So wood, obviously, muy importante early on. We're gonna actually put up some lumber mills here quickly, or sawmills. So you actually can get different amount of lumber depending on how many trees are in the green area of your building. So this is an exceptional spot. Looks like we're probably going to expand here, probably wall down to about this point so I can have massive lumber income over this way. If I can squeeze in another lumber mill, I will attempt to. It does not look like that will be the case, because there is some kind of mechanic to where it does not allow you to do overlap, and I don't know if it might just be the zone of control, like maybe green can't overlap with green, is the best way I think I've come to figure it out. Let me know in the comments if that's not correct. So we're gonna let these buildings build. We're gonna continue to slay these dirty zombies. Try to allocate these, or acquire these resources down here. Help accelerate our build. Because this game is really cool. I mean, it is also a fight against the clock, because you get these hordes that come, and the hordes are actually really challenging. I made it to the second horde in my second playthrough, and that there's just so many guys. I think I did make a mistake by not upgrading into stone quick enough, and I think if I had stone walls, I think I would have been more apt to be able to defend against that crazy attack. All right, so we got some food, we got some lumber coming online here. Another mistake I made in the past too was, ooh, and there's actually iron and stone in the same place. I do not know how that's exactly going to function. Wow, this is actually the first time I've ever had, like in the other game I had so much money. I was just like the richest person on the planet. I just could not spend it quick enough. Especially because actually my stopgap, the thing that was really hindering me was actually population. And I had a really tight, narrow base. So it just made it hard. This space is actually has huge, huge openings. So I think it's going to be very, very different. Oh my gosh, there are tons of zombies on here. This is blowing my mind. I'm going to have her pull back here just in case something sneaks on by this way. Yep. This game, man, it's one zombie. If they kill one of your structures.
Your mayoral candidates.
Research Great Ballista. So this is a building. I've actually seen this yet, but I'm assuming it does damage at long range, because that's usually what a ballista is. Plus 20 to stone reserves. We're gonna go with this. I haven't used it, so it's more of a curiosity thing than a long-term success thing.
Just tell me what to do.
Stone, I mean, definitely will be important about the mid-game, but at this point, not much of an issue. Really need to get that lumber online more than anything, which now we do. I'm actually going to take this Tesla tower, try to expand some of my zone of control, try to get some lumber over this way. Honestly, because we don't, yeah, perfect. Start trying to expand this way too. Walls are really important, especially when the hordes come. But you actually have a good amount of time before that point. All right, let's move this back way up. Yeah, lumber, stone, gold. Let's go. And the second time I played this, I was actually near a spawning village or city, like a city that's been taken over. And there might be one in this one as well. I don't know exactly because the maps are randomly generated. It might just be random, but it was almost like I was having hordes attack me consistently. I had 5 guys in towers just non-stop killing. And then once the actual horde attacked me, and it came from the west, which is basically coming from over here, I was just non-stop being attacked from the south as well. So definitely added some major levels of complexity to that game. But I guess that's why this has so much replay value. And I can tell you, just playing it maybe about an hour, I can definitely tell that I'm addicted. In the best way possible. Oh man, so alright, oh, this is actually outside of my area of control here. So we actually need to put up another Tesla tower. Thankfully I have a big surplus of wood. Anyways, let's actually get another sawmill online. Oof, we're running low on food, boys. Alright, let's see how this works here. So we put on the back side, so it looks like there's not going to be much overlap, so we're going to go for the highest point there. Okay. Since we got those resources, I'm going to bring an archer back up here. These zombies are just so good at, and it's such a good design of the game. They're just so good at finding any little crevice and sneaking in. So you gotta insanely be vigilant in holding off these zombies. Oh, so close. Oh, see what is so nice, or well, what's rough about these fishing spots is they actually have to be on the physical water themselves. Oh wow, it's not actually telling me how much food this is going to give. I'm sure it's high because that's a lot of water, so I'm just going to trust it. There's also these hunting cottages, and hunting cottages give you a ton of food as well, depending on how much trees are around you. So we're going to put these up too. Might be going a little bit hog wild early on, but I'm just trying to really increase my production. Because I mean, obviously you want tons of soldiers, obviously being able to expand out and have land just to be able to expand is really important. Oh my gosh. Alright, this might be a little bit dangerous because there seems to be just a big chunk of guys this way. Alright. So wood is almost full here. So we need to... Oh, Tesla Tower is almost finished. Where did he... Do people take food, actually? That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. Produces food by... Oh, this is the food production, which is going to be huge in a second here. So let's not worry about that. Tent, we just need food. So I wonder if there's... Because you can get hunting cottages. I mean, obviously the food production is not as good if you don't have trees around. Oh, but this would probably be an amazing place for it. Let's see if we can... Oh, looks like this also has to be... Well, that doesn't make sense, actually. So you can actually build them in other spots. Alright. So this should be huge food production, which will allow us to build a bunch of tents, and a bunch of tents make us a bunch of money, which is fantastic. Oh, snap. Alright. Let's roll these back a little bit. Wow. Okay. Tons of stuff is completing all at once here. So we needed... Let's do the quarry first. Oh, we actually need gold. Alright. Since I have a better bearing on this game, I'm actually doing a lot better with this money. In the other game, I was just rich. I was like almost all my resources were capped out except lumber, and it was heartbreaking. Let's just start this, keep this lane alive, just in case.
What do you want now?
Obviously, you don't want to aggro too much, but
At your service. Building
I don't
completed.
think there's too much of an issue at this point. We can always fall back if the hordes get too intense. Just using some attack move action here. Oh my gosh. There's tons of them all over the place. Alright. Okay, let's fall back now. Let's be fine over here.
Straight to the heart. You are gonna pay me for this, right?
Okay. Alright, we got tons of wood. Okay, good. So now we can build a quarry. I think that this... I might just have gotten super lucky, because it looks like this is going to produce both of these resources. Yeah, it is. Wow. That's awesome. 2-for-1 special right there. So that's going to be incredible. Iron you need for the basic early soldiers. Well, the second tier, I would say, because these archers are tier 1. And in the other game I played, I didn't actually have access to iron really close. So archers, they have good range, they move quickly, but they just don't have the killing power, it feels like, that these soldiers have. They just fire so fast, and they're actually beefy too. So if you do get into a scrape, they can take a few hits, where the archers die pretty quick. Okay. Oh yeah, we were gonna do tents to really boost up our economy. You see the way I'm building, I'm leaving a gap because one of the mistakes I made in the other game was I didn't leave gaps, and it actually hindered the movement of my soldiers. So, you know what, I'm actually going to do that with this spot here. So they would actually, because this game is almost, it seems like you could almost like semi-maze. Brought energy. Okay, so we just need to save up some gold here, but thankfully we've got huge amounts of tents coming in. We got our stone, we got our iron. I'll probably build another wood here, so that way I can start towering up. Because towers actually give you attack range increases to your men and some sight. Maybe not sight. I think it might, but I do know it definitely gives range increase, and that is muy importante
Building completed.
to one's survival.
At your service.
Okay, that was money. Good. So we finally can. What was I going for? Oh yeah, power. The mill. Do you think this expenditure? No, it definitely doesn't. Let's just move it back here then. Okay, because we definitely need some power, or we are out. We've got tons of food, which was not the case in my other playthrough, and a solid amount of workers available. How does this all work? Oh my gosh, we have a huge surplus of wood here. Energy is the major issue, but I do know that towers, these things do not cost anything. So we know we're gonna have to defend this spot no matter what. So what I like to actually do for my defense is I like to put the walls in front of the towers. Just gives you an extra tier of defense. We're only gonna actually build the, oh gosh, this guy's cool. We're only gonna build one tower for now. We want that gold. When this power comes online, lumber I don't think will ever be an issue because we have a huge forest over here. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This one dude over here, straight up a super assassin. This guy before he was turned, he was in Assassin's Creed,
Aren't there other units to bother?
sneaking up on fools.
Are you sure?
Okay, we got people coming, they're over there. Okay, we're good.
What?
At your service.
I'm actually probably gonna move this
I
guy
will kill our enemies.
because I feel like she can cover this gap
Aren't there
pretty
other
well by
units to
herself.
bother?
Man, we're up again. Top. So this, because remember Tesla out and then build a wall over here. Yeah, because I want to take this line. Okay, so we got power online. Fantastic. Gosh, I really want this workshop because I want to get it earlier than later because I was getting it at a bad time before. I don't know if this is a bad idea, but let's test the theory. Let's just grab some more tents or some more gold. All right, we don't want to. I don't want to block that path there, so we can still create some gaps here. All right, so this should give us a ton of people. We still have so much excess food, which is great.
Attention. Building completed. Attention. Building completed.
Let's see how much.
Attention. Building
Looks like it
completed.
gives, each tent gives 8 gold income.
Attention. Building completed.
Alright, 500 gold, there it is. I wonder if I want to get the workshop this early. You know, I actually want to. Whoa. How does this work? Whoa. So it looks like it just takes workers and energy and wood. Oh my gosh, they're expensive. I wonder how fast they shoot though. I'd rather get some soldiers online here. Moles. That stone's slowly coming in. So ironic when the last game where I had just so much overload of stone and now I've got virtually none. Alright, Tesla Tower's going up because I want to start expanding the lines and because I need to build. The building here. Yeah. Because stone will allow us to build our soldier center, which is very important because I want to start cranking out some soldiers sooner than later.
Attention. Building completed.
Should be great. And then I'm going to go probably... Gosh, I just need gold. That is wild. Thankfully, I got iron early, so this is going to be really good for building. I won't have to build archers. I can just build straight up soldiers because I just feel like their killing power is just so much better. Which makes sense because they're
You are gonna
high
feed
energy.
me, right?
Building completed.
So does this actually increase your sight range?
What
Looks
do
like
you
it does,
want
right?
now?
Maybe not. Boom, but look at her sniping Legolas in the house, baby. Oh wow, these Cecil Towers actually take a ton of money. Well, I know you can actually upgrade and you can get cottages instead of these little tents. I don't know if you can actually click a tent into a cottage. I hope you can. Oh, we actually have a lot of gold and a lot of wood. Alright, let's pause it up here so we're not wasting resources, because this game is brutal. Alright, so we got military coming in. We're gonna have to, though. I just don't like the thought of getting swarmed at this point. Okay, so that'll be good there. Oh, we did want research, so
Attention.
40
Building
million. So
complete.
we are actually gonna wait for that. Build a couple soldiers. I'd like to actually put another one over here just to secure this area.
Better be good.
Attention. Building completed.
Oh wow, so every time she comes in, she gives you... Wow, we're at wood again. Wood just seems to just sneak up on you every single time. It's a good place for you. This is actually a research building where you can start to get some higher level production online. Well, probably, I had major food issues in the last game that I played. I don't know if that's going to be the case in this one. I wonder, but it does look like we're going to bump into a food issue. Oh, power low first. Because these even look like they have some kind of level of overlap that you can't. So alright, let's do a perimeter check again. Okay. We're feeling good, boys. We're feeling secure. I think we're going to leave it here. There is a horde coming at some point soon. So make sure to stay ready for episode number 2 because the hordes are crazy in this game. They are brutal. They are intense. And I love them. So with that, this has been Tiger Tran. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to pounce on that subscribe and like button. And until next time, guys.